The Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be traveling to Poland. I am here at a top Polish institute where top Polish experts are joining on the visit, the expectations, Mr. Patryk and Mr. Wojciech. Starting with you, Mr. Wojciech, my first question to you is an obvious question that is on the mind of everyone. The Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit, how significant is this visit for India-Polish relationship? How do you see the relationship getting a boost, strengthening further because of this visit?
Yeah, I'm quite confident, and I'm sure that Prime Minister Modi, first of all, wants to visit Ukraine that was attacked by Russia, and that his visit to Poland is connected to his visit to Kiev. So it does not necessarily reflect the level of bilateral Polish-Indian relations, which definitely should be much higher, much more advanced than we can see now. But I am sure that we will take this opportunity, that we will try to exploit on this opportunity that Prime Minister Modi visits Poland. That this is it's been first visit of Indian Prime Minister in Poland in this region for 4 decades. So this is very, very important on political, diplomatic level. I'm sure that Prime Minister will have a better understanding how this region, not only Poland, but the whole region, how it has changed in the last decades. This is a very vibrant, influential, modern region of European Union. And we are looking forward to strengthening of our bilateral relations with India that has a very positive image here in Poland that we perceive as a global aspiring power that can be much more influential and can play much more positive role in solving the problems of global problems, and especially the problem that stems from Russia's aggressive war of Ukraine.
Mm-hmm. So you have been following India for a pretty long time, and you're very active on social media as well. What's your assessment from the visit, and what's your expectations from the Indian Prime Minister's visit in terms of the relationship? Where do you would like to see the relationship going forward?
I hope it will be just the beginning of more vibrant and vital relationship between Poland and in India. I've been waiting for this visit of Prime Minister Modi for last 10 years or 15 years. And he will be the 4th Prime Minister of India to visit Poland in the history. So it has a great political significance, and it sends a very strong signal that maybe we can open a new chapter in the relationship between Poland and India. We have a lot in common when we look at the history of Poland. Poland was colonized by the imperial powers in the past, same like India. We got our independence just 20 years before, 30 years before India got its independence. We were fighting alongside in the Battle of Monte Cassino and other places during the Second World War. India has hosted Polish refugees at the same time. So we have a lot of commonalities and shared interests and shared history. We have growing Indian diaspora in Poland. We have more political power in Poland. Poland emerged as an important 5th largest and leading power in the European Union. Mm-hmm. And India has emerged as a global power. So I think now the time has come to work on this, to elaborate on this special status we both got, and explore the economic possibilities for cooperation. Also, our relationship must get more strategic dimension. I think we can expect more cooperation in defense sector, the cooperation between our militaries. We need to go back to joint exercises, to exchanges between military personnel, more contact between defense industry. We are in the middle of the major, massive modernization of our armed forces, the same like India is. So there is a vast scope of opportunities for cooperation in every sector, not only defense, but also in green transition, energy transition, in IT, in skilling people from India, in bringing connectivity. We can think about how to connect better Poland and India through the Central Europe and through the IMEC, and how to expand the connectivity between Indo-Pacific and Central Europe and Western Europe. So I think we have a lot to work on, and we have lost last 3 decades when we have been busy with our own transformations in Poland and in India. We were realizing our most key priorities, and now I think we are mature enough to capitalize on the goodwill we have created over the years, and grasp the opportunities that were lying around us for a long period of time. So I would expect that this is just the beginning. We've been waiting for this political signal of highest level visit for a long time, but it must not end here. We will be looking forward to see President of Poland visit to India very early, maybe this year or early next year, and then we would be very happy to welcome Prime Minister Modi in Poland again on the official bilateral visit, maybe with some connections to multilateral forum like the TRISIS initiative, which is a grouping of 14 countries from the Central Europe. And as Wojtek said, the Central Europe is a new beating heart of Europe. Yeah? We are developing fast. We have more confidence. We are ready to take our defense also in our hands, and we are both closer and closer partners to the United States. So there's a lot of geopolitical alignments between our countries, and I'm hopeful that we will use this opportunity this time.
A lot of things to talk about in terms of the relationship, so final conversation in terms of how do you see India in terms of the practical cooperation that you can get from India? India is the largest country in terms of population. It is the 5th largest economy. So what is it in your sense that Poland can gain from India, and what India can gain from Poland, as Sir said, as Patryk Sir said, about the beating heart? And in this beating heart, I think the main artery is Poland. So what can Poland give to India?
I'm pretty sure that, especially with the experience of the COVID pandemics and then with this large-scale war in Ukraine, we clearly see how the security of Europe and Asia-Pacific, how they are connected. And this is, for me, it's pretty obvious that India belongs to the group of the like-minded countries that are interested in influencing the global security by not allowing the major authoritarian powers like China, that has this alliance with Russia, to undermine the global security. And as I say, it refers to both the experience of the COVID pandemics and the war. We have to be prepared for the scenarios of a major shocks, also in the Indo-Pacific, because China is closely following what is going on in Ukraine, how the global community reacts to this war of aggression, and it draws the conclusions. It understands that sooner or later, major powers, if they are ready to use force to achieve their strategic goals, they are likely to achieve them if there is no strong response from international community or from a bigger group of countries that can impose costs on the aggressor. And I think that India and Poland can support the discussion on how we can limit our dependence on those authoritarian powers, that they cannot influence our decisions, that this dependence does not become the liability. And there are different areas of cooperation when we can limit those dependence and we can promote the cooperation, starting from the development of the rules and cooperation and the development of artificial intelligence, how the cyber domain is governed. We have different interests than Russia and China in this regard. They try to promote a completely different vision that is incompatible with the free and democratic countries that would like to offer their people a say how those rules are set, what is going on with the data. This is a completely different way, different approach than the authoritarian countries that do not pay attention to what people think and want. So starting from technological cooperation, development of AI, cyber, economic cooperation, medicines, because those dependency on China became the liability as well during the Cold War and during the COVID, and India as a strong producer of pharmaceuticals or elements for the production of different medicines is also a very important potential partner for Poland and other countries from this region. And then we can go down further to the areas that were mentioned by Patryk, like defense cooperation. Poland and other countries of this region, they have the experience in sustaining the post-Soviet or Russian systems. India does not need to be dependent on the cooperation with Russia in this area. So there are a lot of prospective levels of cooperation.
Mm-hmm. A lot of areas of cooperation, but essentially one thing is on the mind of not only Polish people, but people from across the world. It's the Russia-Ukraine war. The Indian Prime Minister is going to come here. So what are the conversations do you expect that the Polish side will be keen to have with the Indian Prime Minister on this war?
I think Polish side will share its perspective that we are looking for a peace. Yeah, we are a peace-loving country. We are looking for the peace, but not every peace. We are looking for a just and sustainable peace in Ukraine, which means we need a peace that recognizes and protects the international law and Ukraine's territorial integrity and sovereignty. So we are not looking only for freezing of this conflict. Yeah? We are looking for a peace that is acceptable to the Ukrainians. I think this war in Ukraine will end when Ukrainians will agree that they want a peace that is given. And we need to do everything we can to support Ukrainian independence for as long as it takes, as it is necessary. And we would expect, and probably I think we will convey this message to Prime Minister Modi when he arrives here, that the peace that will legitimize violation of international law and grabbing of the Ukrainian territory is not the peace we are looking for. And we would appreciate every kind of support from India to convince the aggressor that it should stop waging this war and withdraw from occupied territories of Ukraine. So, but at the end, as I said, the final result of this war will depend on the will of the Ukrainians. So maybe there will be a conversation between Prime Minister Modi and Zelensky that will lead to some expectations from the Ukrainians that India can play kind of honest broker, mediator role in this conflict. Mm-hmm. But this must be in coherence and coordination with the Ukrainian side. But there might be an opportunity that Ukraine would need India to be ready to play a supportive role in facilitating this peace or ceasefire negotiations. And probably this visit in Ukraine will be a very important milestone in rebuilding trust between India and Ukraine, and India and Poland, and India and Western Europe, because India's neutral position towards this war was somehow disappointing to many in this part of the world. So we are very much optimistic looking at Prime Minister Modi to Ukraine. I think it will be an important step to improve, to boost the credibility of India as a peacemaker and as a reliable and trusted global power. And I think it will clear the air for closer cooperation also between Poland and India, that we need to understand its positions and constraints on Ukraine war much better. And with this, I think we will be more prone and more ready and willing to strengthen strategic cooperation with India.
Mm-hmm. Well, on that note, thank you so much, sirs, for speaking to us and giving your perspective about this visit, an important visit of the Indian Prime Minister to Poland. And of course, he'll be traveling to Ukraine as well. But this is a visit that comes after 40 years. So a lot of excitement, hope that this visit will have key deliverables in terms of the Warsaw-Delhi Connect. With video journalist Neeraj Patel, Sidhant Sibal for WION in Warsaw, Poland.